Hello there guys, my name is Aaron Chandler and welcome to another video. Now this is another transfer news update. This is on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, or as some Tottenham fans call him, the Gabonese Jamie Vardy. Not true in my opinion. I'm a Manchester United fan and I believe this guy is fantastic for Arsenal. But could he be on the way out? Because there have been reports that Inter Milan have joined the race with Manchester United to sign the guy who is out of contract next summer and could leave for free. So let's have a look into it. So please like, comment, subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. And let's get into the stats and facts we know from recent reports in this video. So the recent reports and articles state that Inter Milan have joined the race for Arsenal striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, according to news source Gazzetta dello Sport, which is an Italian football news source and sports news source. Aubameyang's future at the Emirates is uncertain, with boss Mikel Arteta previously admitting the Gunners face a challenge to convince the 30-year-old to stay beyond his current deal, which expires next summer, and the papers say Inter could battle with Manchester United in the event that Lautaro Martinez leaves the Italian club. Now, that is one of the big factors in this move. Lautaro Martinez, the striker at Inter Milan. Of course, Inter Milan have already got Romelu Lukaku firing in goal after goal. Is Lautaro Martinez going to leave? Is he not getting the game time? If he does leave, then Aubameyang could be one of the targets. Now, there has also been rumours that Inter Milan could be after Olivier Giroud, who could be out of Chelsea in the summer maybe. But I think that Aubameyang won't go to Inter Milan. I personally think he will go to Manchester United if he was to go anywhere. He'd either stay at Arsenal or go to Manchester United. And I know there's been the whole thing of, well, there's two major factors into why it might not happen. The first major factor is a lot of fans weren't happy when Alexis Sanchez signed for Manchester United, and the fact that Arsene Wenger already said before that we'll never sell to Manchester United again after they sold Van Persie to Sir Alex Ferguson. And of course, like, he's gone back on that promise, you know, and that sort of fueled the fan base against Arsene Wenger even more than they already did. And to be fair, I obviously the channel wasn't around a few years ago, but I did understand why people were angry with Arsene Wenger. He wasn't really getting a good consistency of results, he didn't really turn up in the big games. He didn't really, stand on the touchline. I was watching the Bayern Munich Champions League legs with Arsenal a few years ago, the 5-1 and the 5-1, the 10-2 on aggregate. Arsene Wenger was just sat down, but Ancelotti was pacing up and down the touchline, and Arsene Wenger was just sat there. And I think it was that whole Wenger mentality of, let the players deal with it, let the players lead themselves into a match. But it was that same kind of managerial style from the days of Vieira, Henry, Pires, Gilberto, Jens Lehmann. It was very much the same managerial style. Sit down and let the players deal with it. But they had men on the field. This is a completely new team compared to the Invincible days. So you had to sort of stand up. So I can get the frustration towards Wenger back in the day. The frustrations got even heated when they sold Sanchez to United after promising they wouldn't sell him to Manchester United after Van Persie's situation. So I can kind of get that might be a factor into why Aubameyang might not go to Manchester United. But the second factor is the fact that it was last season that the club stated that they weren't going to let anyone go under a couple of years in terms of contracts. Aubameyang out of contract next summer, so he's technically got 1 or 2 years left. He's in that sort of time frame of 2 years, 1 or 2 years left. So he's in that time frame where they should be deciding his contract. And I think if they were to do any big business, except for major transfers, I think Arsenal should be focusing on the contracts, including Aubameyang's. Even though it expires next summer, I think that's a major focus to try and keep him at the club on a longer term contract. Maybe Aubameyang should retire at Arsenal, in my opinion. And that's just my personal opinion. Mertesacker retired at Arsenal. Wenger pretty much retired at Arsenal, even though he was rumoured with a lot of different jobs like Bayern Munich and all that after he left. I think pretty much he retired from managing at Arsenal, in my opinion. I don't think he'll go for a managerial job. So it's a very interesting situation because, of course, Inter Milan would want him, as well as Giroud, who is out of favour at Chelsea but still seems to put in good performances. You know, I think the thing with Inter Milan is they've got to find a striker, whether it's a veteran striker between the ages of, 27 and 31, 32, that kind of age range, whether it's like a prime gear striker or a younger striker. If Martinez doesn't leave the club, Aubameyang and Giroud is on the Inter Milan radar. And the fact that, they're on the radar, and the fact that, Inter Milan could be looking to replace Lautaro Martinez if he leaves the club. That's the big factor. If Lautaro Martinez leaves, Inter Milan are going to go straight for Aubameyang, straight for Giroud, in my opinion. And there's also sort of that factor you've got to take in of you've got to find a striker that's going to compete, maybe not replace, maybe partner, but also compete with Romelu Lukaku, who's shone since he left Manchester United. Absolutely shone at Inter Milan under the guidance of Antonio Conte. So that's the thing with Inter Milan. And of course, like I said, with Arsenal, you've got to take into account contracts, not letting anybody go under 2 years, not selling to Manchester United again. So there's a lot of factors, but of course, like I said, I think the most likely scenario, in my opinion, even though I'd like Aubameyang to join Manchester United, I'd like to see Aubameyang stay at Arsenal and retire at Arsenal. Same with Lacazette. I'd like to see both of them retire at Arsenal. Now, of course, Arsenal have been looking at options. There's a rumour of around £30 million of a Celtic swoop for Odsonne Edouard and the goals he's been putting in for Celtic. There's a rumour that he could be on the radar for Arsenal if Aubameyang was to leave either this summer or next summer for free when his contract expires. So they are looking at other options, and I think Edouard with the French connection, with Lacazette's French connection, I think that would be a good fit if Aubameyang was to leave. So there's a lot of factors still to decide, but of course I'm sure all will come clean in the summer. So thank you very much for watching this transfer update from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, or as Tottenham fans call him, the Gabonese Jamie Vardy. Thank you very much. My name is Aaron Chandler. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and goodbye.